Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Amber and you are at Hearth and Hook. Okay, today I want to talk about the market bag project that I'm embarking on. Okay, so I showed you this last time, and this is the finished market bag that is from the free tutorial by Stephanie here on YouTube. I will link that down below. And it turned out really great. This is using Lily Sugar and Cream, and I don't know the name of the colorway, but it is this lovely blues and greens and aquas, and it's stripes. So it's not quite variegated, more stripes. And I just love how that turned out on this bag. So very simple bag to make. You need to be able to single crochet and chain stitch, and then you are off to the races. So I made this one. It opens really nice and wide and it has lots of room inside. So I wanted to make another one because that's not quite enough for my weekly Aldi haul. So I started using this knit and crochet yarn. And look at that. Isn't that a pretty colorway? Maybe I'll do it with this side so you can see it without that yarn sticking out. Yeah, and this colorway is White Sands. And I've used 1.5 balls of it so far. So this is my second ball, and I am working with a 5.5 millimeters. Is that clear? Not quite. Come on, camera. Be a peach. There we go. Well, we had it for a minute. It's 5.5 millimeters, and this is part of the Clover Amour hook set that I got off of Amazon, and it has like all the major hook sizes, and I've really loved this set for being able to just pick up almost anything and crochet it. So here's where I am so far. I had 2 kiddo performances this weekend, and so I was able to sit and crochet lots and lots. And since this yarn is a little thinner, this is a 3 weight as opposed to this, which was a 4 weight. Stephanie gives 2 different sizes on her tutorial. There's one that's the small, which is actually this big bag that I made. And then I decided to go with a large. And the difference is really your starting number of chains. This is 30 chains and the other one was 20. But I figured smaller yarn, smaller hook, more chains, it will probably come out about the same size. In the end, it is looking like this is, let me pull it up together so I can show you. So if you see, this one starts right here and keeps going for another inch or so past that same spot. So this is about 1.5 inches wider with changing gauge, changing yarn, all of that. And so I'm really loving the way this turned out. Okay, now this is the part I wanted to discuss with you, is how many rows should I do? I've done quite a few, but remember, this is, you double it up to make your bag. And so when I double it, it's kind of shorty. And I don't quite want a shorty. I don't want it super big because as one of my lovely viewers pointed out, if it's too big, it can get pretty heavy pretty quick. So this one, I used her suggestion, and she said about 27, 28 rows, which if I look at the ratios, that's about, if you start with a 20-inch wide right here, or 20 stitch wide right here, and then you do almost 30 rows, that's like 1.5. So I thought I would go with that same ratio for the larger one. So my goal is to get to 40 or 45 rows here, and that will make the bag about 22, 23 rows deep. So that is how I'm looking at it, and I'm hoping that made sense, and I'm hoping it will actually make a really good size bag. So right now, because I did have those 2 kiddo performances, I mean, look at this. I'm loving the way the colors are just coming together on this. And you can see it's just a simple chain stitch, but it really does work up brilliantly. It adds a lot of stretch to the fabric, and yeah, it's which cotton is not known for having any stretch. So I don't think I would want to do this with, say, an acrylic, because that does naturally have a little stretch. And so if you have stitches with stretch and the yarn with stretch, you might just get a little too much stretch. Okay, so if you are also doing a crochet market bag, I would love to hear about it. This is just a quick check-in to let you know where I'm at with mine. I'm hoping that my next video, I will be showing it complete. Fingers crossed. And then I wanted to talk about one other bag, because I have obviously been kind of enjoying this bag kick. So I wanted to show you my Japanese knot bag that I made myself. I came up with this pattern following the fabric bag that I like so much. One thing that, and then I decided to ops test it. I did write out the pattern as I was making this. And so I'm trying it out. So the way this Japanese knot bag works, and the reason I love it so much, is it has a round bottom, and then I love to do it because you can fold this top brim down and it makes like a really great yarn holding bag. So it kind of keeps it open like a basket, just enough structure to hold itself even when it's the fabric bag. And then it closes itself with no fasteners at all, because it has the shorter handle and the longer handle. So you put the longer handle in through the short one, and then you put that on your wrist, and there's your Japanese knot bag. Isn't that clever? I don't know if the Japanese actually came up with this or if somebody else did, but it sure is clever. And one of my other favorite things is it leaves a nice little hole right here. And I use that especially when I'm crocheting, which I was over the weekend, and I put my yarn in here and I do my nice little knot. And there are holes that you are able to go ahead and pull through without the yarn coming out. So, I mean, it is kind of a crocheter's dream. So when I made this, I decided to ops test it, like I said before. I wanted to release a pattern, and I decided that this handle actually is too long, because it starts to stretch. And so my conclusion was that I maybe needed one more row wide. I think this was 8 rows that I did on this, and maybe I would do 9 or 10, and then I would make it a little shorter. Maybe for some this is ideal, but for me, I actually wanted it a little shorter. I felt like, especially when I was carrying heavy things, because I used it for my lunch box for a while. It actually worked great as a lunch box, guys. I bring a mason jar full of chili to work almost every day, because I freeze it in those 1 cup cubes, and then I put it inside my mason jar. It fits perfectly, and then I just throw it in the microwave at work at lunchtime, and I don't have to store it in the fridge because it's frozen. And if it does thaw a little bit, like, it isn't thawed enough to go bad, but most of the time it doesn't thaw at all. And then I just pop that in the microwave for a couple minutes, and I have delicious chili right inside the mason jar. There's no extra anything. And then I just bring that mason jar home and wash it, and it's a piece of cake. So, and repeat the next day. And my little silicone ice cube holder makes exactly 1 cup servings, and for me that is the perfect amount of chili for a lunch. I also bring like an apple and some other little snacks. So, like, anyway, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. Squirrel. So this was my lunch bag for a while when I was ops testing, and I really loved it for the mason jar because it held the mason jar upright, and there was enough room for a small apple right on top, which is one of my favorite snacks. And then I could put like a granola bar or something on the side if I wanted. Like, it was just the perfect size for that. But my lunch was a little heavy, and it felt like it was hanging lower than I really wanted it to. And I ended up grabbing it like this often because I was just like, this is just hanging low. And then you can see it's not really hanging on my wrist if I'm holding onto it. So long story short, for me, this is too long of a handle. And that is I'm gonna do my next iteration of the pattern with a shorter handle, because that's kind of the true knot bag. The true knot bag, you have the handle so squarely that it's probably about this much shorter, honestly. And you just fit your wrist in it so that as soon as you take your wrist out, it almost opens up. So anyway, I'm going to write that pattern up at some point. Well, I'm going to revisit the design a little bit and kind of perfect it. I'll probably do another ops test, operational testing. That's what that stands for. I realize that's kind of is it a military term? I don't know. It's a term that we occasionally use. So that is my plan for this bag. So bags galore. We are talking all the bags, right? Like one that's finished, well, two that are finished, but a pattern needs to be made, and one that's in the work. So all the bags. And I would love to hear about all the bags you are making if you are also making bags.